Hey everybody, it's Stacy from the Key to Soul Awakening. This is my first live stream, so forgive me if I'm a little here. I have you over here. So uh, law of attraction, manifesting, anything that you want to ask me of how to make it happen for you, go ahead and ask me. Just put a question in the chat and I will answer it for you. Just wanted to see whoever is in around. I know I have many viewers who are in India and some in Europe. Right now it is 12:30 where I am. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. India, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, and London, it's almost 5:30. So if you're around, come on to my live stream and ask me some questions. Today I am working on my Patreon, where I'm moving over one of the main stories that I'm doing on YouTube. It's the story of how to forgive my brother for abusing me. And I told you that I was going to take you along on a journey to try to find forgiveness for him. And what I found out was that, number one, I'm not ready to forgive him yet because, as I explained in a video, I went into some major PTSD when I looked over his last comments to me about 10 years ago. And welcome to those of you who are viewing. So I'm working on a video for that for Patreon. So if you haven't seen my Patreon yet, swing on over to patreon.com/thekey, and you'll see I'm moving that story over. What did I do today? I got the kids off to school. I'm working on a mini meditation for my viewers on YouTube where they don't have to have a whole hour to sit down and meditate. It's a meditation that I have created out of my own life, out of my own need, where I needed just a little breather to get away from my husband's family, from holiday meals. So I have a meditation that I do. So what I do is I find a little room to go to, and I'm going to record my meditation for you to survive the holidays with your family if you need it, if you have a family like mine. Anybody else have a family like mine where he just been grin and bear the holidays? What else? I do tarot every day. So if you have a question you want to ask me, I can also do some tarot for you. Anybody, let me see and look over here. Anybody have questions? All right, so to law of attraction, the main issue with law of attraction is that people think that they can create anything they want just in the state that they are in. And that's not exactly true. I know there's that book out there, The Secret, and I actually had that book, The Secret, where it was really good. I carried it with me. It gave me hope that my life would somehow turn out to be the way I wanted it to be. But to tell you the truth, nothing really happened. I never got that check in the mail. If you had that check in the mail sent to you, the book told you was going to happen, please let me know, because I haven't found one person to have that happen yet. But how I did use the law of attraction to work for my life is that the first step I did was I had to stop pitying myself. I had to change my view on my life because, you ever see those people who you think, wow, they have such a great life. Why are they so miserable? I was one of those people. So I needed to actually be grateful for what I had first. And over on Patreon, I'm going to be telling you the details of what I do every day in order to keep manifesting going. But in general, what I generally do is just sit around and look at how grateful I am for things, even though they're not perfect, even though your life's never going to be perfect, and your life's designed not to be perfect because we have to learn our lessons, right? So the first thing you need to know about law of attraction is you need to be grateful for what you have now and where you are in life now, because there is something you're happy for in life. There is something that you could be thankful for in life. If I could go back to a time in my life where I was at the bottom of where I thought I was in just misery, what I would do to get if I'd go back now, what I would do and say to myself is, you may be feeling sad right now, but you need to look around at all you have. You have a house that protects you. You have a husband who takes care of you and loves you. You have these great, smart kids. These are all things that you need to feel thankful for in order for the law of attraction to begin to see, oh, they don't really want all that stuff that's going to make them miserable. Because that is what we do. We put out vibrations when we're miserable and we're angry with people, that we want more miserable, angry people to come to our life. I mean, how many of you have ever said, why does this keep happening to me? Why did this kind of person keep coming into my life? It's because that's the vibration, the angry vibration you're putting out is inviting them in. So you need to flip it, flip that vibration and say, I see a challenge in front of me. I see a person who's not very nice and not very kind, but I'm going to walk away from this and then turn around and say, universe, I would like people who are loving and helpful and kind to come into my life, and completely ignore the angry person you just saw. So, and that is how it works. That is absolutely how it works. The universe will test you. They will come and say, the universe does. It will test you when you decide to become, oops. Phone call. I guess I'll call them back later. So yeah, the universe does test you with when you decide you're going to become nothing but light and happiness and vibration. The universe does send you more things at first to test you. So let me pull the cards for today. So what do we have to expect for today? Hey, I see you guys on here. If you like this live stream, give me a thumbs up, okay? All right, let's see. What should we expect for today? I got the Justice card, 3 of Cups, and 2 of Wands. So that means a challenge that I have within 3 people, because it's upside down. It's a challenge for 3 people. I'm going to be seeing justice. And it's interesting because I was just writing what I was going to say about forgiving my brother. And if you think about myself, my mom, and my brother, and then I get the Justice card. So maybe I'll be seeing justice after all. That would be quite nice. Anybody have any questions on the law of attraction or manifesting or anything spiritual? Just go ahead and put them in the chat box. First thing that I manifested was, our move to the Caribbean was big. That was probably the first thing I manifested where I was like, whoa, I can't believe that just happened. Then beyond that, I would just manifest, schools for my kids. That was a big one too. I had so many trouble with the schools. And I think by saying to the universe, literally, universe, I just want a school that understands my children and will be kind to them and support them in the way they need. Because if you don't know, I have 2 kids with autism and another with ADHD. So I could be and was the mama bear of all time. So what I did is I just asked the universe for a school that would be to their best interests, and the universe provided. And in no uncertain terms did they just show up to me. I gave up. I gave up looking for schools. I was going to homeschool them, especially with this COVID mess going on. So my husband came to me 3 hours after I finally gave up and said to the universe, I'm tired of trying to control everything in my life. I'm tired. I'm just going to do whatever presents to myself. Whatever you present to me, guides, I'm doing it. I'm not going to say no anymore. And 3 hours later, my husband said, why don't we move to the Caribbean? Now, ordinarily, I would have said, are you crazy? Are you nuts? We're in the middle of a pandemic. You want to move to Caribbean? You want to move a country in the middle of a pandemic? And how are we going to afford that? But what I had to do was sit back and go, well played, guides. Well played, universe, because I couldn't say no. So I said to my husband, now when I tell him this story, let's talk about it. The look on his face when I said, let's talk about it was pure shock and joy. And I think husbands don't generally get that look on their face a lot when they ask their wives things that they want. But I tell you, every time we went through with this move, it was so smooth. And considering it was a moving of a country and the moving of enduring a pandemic, I honestly can't believe that we did it. But we were here. My kids are in this great school, and I am manifesting things left and right. You name it, I have manifested it. So let's see, what else have I manifested? This new career that I have, a year ago, did I think I was going to be on YouTube teaching everybody all of this? Absolutely not. No, I never saw myself on YouTube or Patreon, but my guides told me that this is where I belong. So tell me, what questions do you have? What do you want to manifest in your life? I have a lot of questions about people telling me about health, about jobs. They worry about their kids. What, those of you listening or watching right now, what do you want to manifest? I'm going to drop it in the comment box right here. The health. I have one gentleman who was talking to me about health, and health is directly related to our emotional state and our spiritual state. So anytime and I've also had personal experience with this. So when you get sick, you get down in that dumps, I'm so sick. Everyone pity me. I have done this. I still catch myself in doing this. And what happens is when you say that, you get sicker, you get more upset. It's like a cyclical thing where it's a snowball. If you're sick, okay, we're going to deal with it. But if you're sick and then you're also mentally going, I'm sick and I feel so bad and I'm pitying myself, please help me, you somehow end up feeling more sick than you were before. And yeah, I mean, I've had this happen so many times in my life. I have a spinal disease where eventually I'm not going to be able to walk. And when I found that out, I became bedridden because I just decided that was my fate. And I sunk into this bitter mess of hate. Nobody wanted to be around me. I was so mean. And then when I went through this spiritual transition, I realized I have a choice. I can still walk. I have a choice. I can sit back and pity myself that one day I'm not going to be able to walk, but one day is not now. Now is now. Now I can walk. Now I'm going to do it. Now I'm in somewhat pain, but it's okay because at least I can walk and I can, enjoy my life right now. So your health is directly related to, Lisa. Oh yeah, book. Okay, so if you want to manifest a book being published, I have personal experience with this, Lisa, is you need to, number one, just sit down and write it. And as a writer myself, I know that it's hard because you are always looking at your writing and going, this is horrible. No one's ever going to want to see it. So that's the first step. You need to write it and then turn around and say, this is great. This is the best thing I ever did. People are going to love this. And just keep writing. Then you need to get yourself out there and say to yourself every day, I'm a New York Times bestseller. I'm a New York Times bestseller. And those are the kind of things you put out in the universe when you want to publish a book. You can't publish a book if you don't have one. That's the first step. So do you have a book, Lisa? That was the first question. If you're working on one, that's great. To get things published, though, you definitely need to change your vibration to get people interested in you. So yeah, I mean, you just say to yourself, I'm a New York Times bestseller. Not I'm going to be. Say it, I am a New York Times bestseller. And you will be. You keep working on it. You keep working on that book. You ask people for help. You need to ask the universe for help. Bring me the people. I need the people in my life who are going to help my book be published. Bring me those right people. A lot of times we sit around and we think, writers, artists especially, we criticize ourselves so much, don't we? And in criticizing ourselves and looking over that manuscript over and over again, you definitely go all these little details. And that vibration, what you're creating, what I create when I look over all those little details is the vibration that my writing isn't great and no one's going to ever publish it. And that's not what I want to attract. That's not what you want to attract. So you need to go against everything you've ever done, everything you've ever felt, and just say, this is great. This is fantastic. Everyone's going to want to read it. And keep saying that to yourself. Keep writing your book, keep contacting people, and it's going to happen. And actually, Lisa, I'm telling you right now, I can actually tell you your book is going to get published. What's your topic on, Lisa? Can you tell me? Good, you are working on. What's your topic? I'm getting major chills. Your book is going to get published, so I'm getting the feeling that you're not just putting yourself out there yet. Have you talked to anybody about your book? Have you been in contact with anybody about it? Because what I'm getting is that you need to put yourself out there more, and your idea is pretty solid. Yep. Okay. So I see that. No contact. Okay. So what I know, Lisa, is that you need to get in contact with people and just start talking to them about your book. Just put it out there. It's not finished yet, correct? What you need to do is make sure that you have a solid storyline and an outline, and then just get it written. I mean, honestly, a lot of books, I love this fact, a lot of books don't get published for 10 years because we as writers spend so much time editing them. It's annoying, right? Get your outline done, get your first draft done, and then start doing your contacts, telling them about the story. That's exactly what I'm having come down about your story. If you would like, I am also a writer. I can edit when you're done. I can look over it for you if you want. I definitely have a good feeling about it, though. So keep working on it. Let me pull some cards for you, Lisa, and see what we have. Real Lisa's. All right. What's Lisa have to do to get her book published? Ooh, good card. Okay. Page of Wands, Seven Swords. Your central idea is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, Lisa, means you have everything you need right at your fingertips. You have a good story. You know what you want to write. It's your confidence that is holding you back. And I can see that might be the true here. Your confidence is holding you back. And you need to stop thinking about there's so many writers and there's so many books, because there are also more people who read than there are writers. And your book is solid. So you got the Wheel of Fortune card. That is the best card of the deck. It just says it's a turning point and you have good luck with you. So, pish, too old. My kids call me old. I mean, although I did have to laugh when my youngest stood and looked at me when I told him I'm older than Google, and he stood and so old is just a number. You're not too old. You can do it. It's a fantasy story, huh? I'm interested. Email me details of it, okay? My email's on the YouTube page, but it's keytohappiness@gmail.com. Email me, Lisa. I'm interested in your story. I'll help you, okay? Anybody else have any other questions about law of attraction or manifesting? I was talking about health. With my health, I was really sick for a long time. And when I started this whole process, nobody ever could figure out why I was sick. Ever could figure out why I was sick. And there were two different issues going on there. Number one, it was my emotional state. I was so depressed and I was so unhappy with myself, with my life, with everything that wasn't perfect, that it was turning itself on me and making me sick. And I found many good things to it, because you look up your symptoms and it has affirmations. And what I ended up doing was recording those affirmations on my iPhone, and I would listen to them every day. I'd say them 3 times on the recording, and then it turned out to be an 18, 20-minute recording. I'd listen to it every day, and that gets into your subconscious, and I started to feel better. I mean, all of these random, weird, symptoms I had, and I started to feel better because I was telling the law of attraction that I am joy, I am love, I do love my life, I'm flowing with life, and it worked. The other thing that happened with my health was I had a pre-planning or past life regression with this woman, Melissa, who's fantastic. I'll put her information in the description, but she has this ability I've never seen another psychic have, is where she's able to get to your soul, your past lives, your guides, and actually see your pre-planning for this life, and then see what your karmic patterns are that you're bringing into this life. And she did a lot to help me recover physically as well as emotionally and spiritually. But one of the things I had health-wise was my shoulder. I used to have this shoulder where I couldn't breathe. I mean, it was right under my shoulder blade. I couldn't breathe, and nobody ever knew what it was. And it would just come and go. And then I had my reading with her, and she went into that. She started to go into one of my past lives, and she's like, I had to wait. And she's like, I'm having this bad pain in my shoulder. And I said, well, is it? And I explained, it's right under your shoulder blade, feels like an ice pick. She goes, yeah. And I said, I've had that forever. And she goes, well, they're telling me that this is because of your past life. That's the reason you're getting it. So she went and told me that I was a Viking warrior who hated their life, had no friends, nobody really liked them. And I thought to myself, holy shit, this lady knows my life right now. So the warrior ended up trying to kill himself by battle, and it went very wrong. Like, he ended up being captured, me in a past life, captured and tortured, and I died being tied to a tree and stabbed in the shoulder, and left for dead. And that had left such a mark on my soul that I had physical pain from it. And as soon as I started releasing that pattern, it went away. Never had it again. So our physical symptoms are directly related to our mental and emotional state. That is not to say we don't have actual physical proof or evidence of our physical state. For example, my back, I mean, my back does have a disease to it. I do have rods in it. I do have pain. However, how much pain I have is related to how much I can turn my vibration around and be positive about it, rather than kind of sinking in and going, poor me, which I think is what a lot of people do. And it is really easy to slide into that. So it's 12:45 here. Does anybody have any other questions, or you want me to read your tarot you have a question for tarot? Before we end, I want to tell you about my new Patreon page. I'm putting a bunch of things over on my Patreon page where members only can follow some of the stories, like my brother abusing me, things like that. I also have tiers where you can work directly with me, and I can help you with spiritual guidance, with your health, with how to raise your vibration, the law of attraction. So my Patreon is patreon.com/thekey, THECAY. And you pick your tier. And now the next few people who choose to be supporters, I'll bump you up a tier. So you'll get the next tier's benefits, which are actually really good. I made each tier specifically good going on up. So if you sign up for one tier, I'll give you the next tier free for another month. So you'll get both of them, but you have to sign up now. Only the next few people get that. So do you have any other questions? No? Okay, so what I'd like you to do is please head over to my Patreon page. If you have any questions about the law of attraction, specifically manifesting, anything that we've talked about here, go ahead and message me, comment under this on YouTube. You can message me on Patreon, you can email me, and I'll get back to you very shortly. You guys all have a lovely day. It was nice seeing you all. Love, light, and laughter. Bye.